Hello and welcome back to r/entitled parents. And if you're new here, I hope you enjoy.
I, male 24, found out my daughter isn't mine and I'm soon to wed my fiancé. About a month ago, an old friend of my fiancé came and told me my daughter might not be mine. She told me that my fiancé had confessed to her shortly after finding out she was pregnant that it might not be mine because at the same time she had been sleeping with one other guy. Now that we're going to get married soon, she just couldn't keep this to herself and felt the need to tell me. Well, I obviously didn't take the news well, because everything she had said contradicted the person I had known for 5 years. Faithful, honest, and loving. However, that doubt didn't go away and I ended up going through with a paternity test. I'm not her father. As you can imagine, this has broken my heart. I'm still coming to terms with the news. It explains why she suddenly got pregnant despite the protection I was using, but I assumed things happened, and it is what it is. Abortion was out of the question. At this point, I'm not sure where I should go with my life. The wedding is 2 weeks away at this point. Family is coming, everything is paid for. My daughter, who I love, turns out isn't mine at all, and I've been raising someone else's kid. I'm about to marry a woman who I can't bring myself to look at anymore. I'm at a loss. I'm not sure what advice Reddit can offer, but I don't know who else to turn to. Edit. Thank you for all the advice, good and bad. Different perspectives offer some insight as to what I can do. Even the ones that didn't help pointed out what I shouldn't do. All I know is, I have loved this woman and her family. The last thing I want is a nuclear option. There's a lot to consider. I have 2 weeks at this point to decide what I want to do. I'm heartbroken. I don't want to necessarily think with my emotions alone, rather think this through as I make another of my large life choices. I am currently waiting on the results of a second paternity test, just to confirm the results of the first one before I make any kind of jump. If you still have any additional advice to offer away. I'm still catching up on messages. There's so many, and I'm taking my time to reflect on each one. Wow. That is crazy. That is so sad. There's no coming back, is there, really? That is devastating. Especially the fact, I mean, you know, I don't think it minimizes it just because your daughter's not related to you. Obviously you have that the same love, because obviously you've assumed that she's yours. And biology shouldn't really change that, but it does. Legally it changes that. And you know, for a lot of people, you know, they can't love their children if they're not biologically related to them. But I guess you still do love your daughter in that way. But unfortunately for you, mate, it doesn't work that way. So when you dump her, you expect to say goodbye to who you thought was your daughter as well. Let's see. Update. I'm sure people would like an update and somewhat of a conclusion to this hurdle in my life, but here's what happened. I read everyone's advice and a lot of it was very helpful, while others, not so much. Some going as far to consider ending someone's life. That's not on the table, Reddit. But for those that did offer genuine advice, thank you. After getting the same result with the second paternity test, I called my fiancé. I talked to Sarah and then a lot of emotions rolled out. She was asking how an old friend could betray her, and she wasn't sure if it was mine or not. I'm sorry, how could you not trust me? She was all over the place. What a bad take, honestly. If I have friends, I would expect them to call me out on this BS. And to be honest, I do have a story where I called a friend out on their BS and it's always been controversial in my friend group. Guess what? We're still like quite close friends. He's one of my closest friends. Even though I called him out on his BS and he ended up basically ruining his relationship. I'm sorry. We joke about it now anyway. After she calmed down, I got a few more answers out of her. It turns out it wasn't one guy she was sleeping with, rather a total of 3, and they wore protection too. But someone got unlucky and knocked her up. At this point, I should have been furious, but somehow that didn't happen. I had grown numb to the whole situation, so yeah, I decided I don't want to go through with this marriage and put everything on hold, and I plan to eventually cancel everything. I called my parents and explained what was going on. They were shocked. Then her parents, same reaction. I was surprised with how understanding they were with the whole situation. Like I said, they're great people. Their reaction only reinforces this. And it is kind of a whatever moment as well, you know, because you're not close to the situation like that. You will get the rare person who'll be like really angry. I had a friend who backstabbed me once, and one of my closer friends now has always never forgiven this guy. He's always just been so angry. Luckily, the wedding was within driving distance from all attendees, 8 hours being the longest drive. The amount of fallout was minimal, apart from my and her parents. No one else knows what's really going on other than the wedding is delayed. Regarding my daughter, I've come to terms that she's not mine, and any feelings I have towards her were built on a lie. It's not too late to start over. She's still young. She won't remember me. As painful as it is, I can't see my life continuing with her. Good, he's over it. So, to wrap things up, I've moved out for the time being to have some space. My parents said I could stay with them until I can sort things out, waiting on the results of an STD test. Should be coming in tomorrow. I've talked to a lawyer, and she said it's a pretty messy situation, but if we can find out who the father is, it could very much help my case. I don't know any of the possible fathers, but her friend instantly knew 2 of the names. As for the third, she wasn't sure, but knew someone might. So, this is where I am. Still not sure where things will go and what will happen, but I can only hope for the best. Life sometimes takes a dump on you, but you don't realise it till one person spills the beans. Thanks Reddit for the help. I wish I could tell you I'm looking forward to a happy ending, but it's too soon to be sure of anything. Anyway, when it comes to cheating anyway, you know, your whole relationship is built on a lie and this person's cheating, you know, unless you were in like a polyamorous relationship or, I don't know what the other word for the other one is, polygamous or something like that, yeah. Basically, the person you thought you were in love with didn't actually exist. So I got cheated on before, and I mean at the time I was just like, wow, oh it's so sad, but really it just wasn't sad, because the person that I was attracted to or was infatuated with never existed. You know, there was this perfect person who did this and that, baked cookies, wrote notes to my mum and to my family, to my workmates, and you know, all this stuff that she manipulated me and knew that I, you know, was attracted to, but then she cheated on me. So it's just a thing of like, people put on a show a lot of the time when it's dating. It's not are you really in love, or are you just combating loneliness? A lot of people, they get into relationships not because they like the other person, but they're just like, they have such low self-esteem where they're like, yeah, well, might as well. To the point of where when you're dating, you mold your behaviors. You're trying to impress someone. You should never be trying to impress someone when you're dating. You know, they create their own false version of themselves based on who, a reflection of the characteristics they think are desirable, you know. So it's completely pointless. Anyway, I could talk about that for an hour. That's something I should put on my second channel when I make one, to do like a video essay on that, because there's so much involved with the psychology of that, and I will make a second channel for that actually. And our final story today, my female 28 mother-in-law pierced my daughter's ears without my permission. Am I overreacting? Spoilers. I mean, to be honest, no. No. I've been married for 4 years and I'm the mother of an 8-month-old daughter, Annie. I'm a first-time mother, but I don't think I'm overly paranoid or anything. Last Friday, mother-in-law asked if she could pick up Annie early from daycare so she could spend time with her. I said sure. This isn't the first time she's done that, and it's never been a problem. In the evening, I go to pick up my daughter from her house and notice her ears are pierced. I asked my mother-in-law why she thought it was okay to do that without my permission. She had asked about earrings in the past, and I had told her that I wasn't going to put my baby in pain for something cosmetic. Also, I think babies look weird with earrings. She said I should thank her because I didn't see my baby in pain. Apparently my baby's pain only existed when I'm there to see it. I told her she had absolutely no right to go against my feelings on this matter. She said because I told her she could pick up my daughter from daycare, I was trusting her to make the decisions, and this is the one that she's made. I was further enraged when I found out my daughter's ears had been pierced at some cheap jewellery store in the mall. If I were going to pierce her ears, I'd have taken her somewhere with professional piercers. When I told my husband about it, he was furious with his mother. He called her to tell her so, and she said that I was turning him against her. He told her that he was removing her from the list of approved pickup people at Annie's daycare because he didn't trust Annie with her anymore. My mother-in-law sent me a half-hearted apology on Facebook saying she still wants to spend time with Annie and didn't expect me to have such a dramatic reaction. I don't know what to do. I'd hate to start a family feud, but I really don't trust her with my daughter anymore. Edit. I've added the half-hearted apology note for anyone who wants to read it. Mother-in-law, I know that you're mad at me, and I want you to know that was never my intention. I love Annie with all of my heart, and you know I would never do anything that would hurt her. When Mel, my own son, said he didn't want me to see Annie anymore, it broke my heart, and that's just not fair. Note, my husband never said she couldn't see Annie, just that she couldn't be alone with her. I never imagined that you would react so dramatically. I feel like I'm being treated like an abuser. It also hurts that you apparently think I'm not entitled to any say over my granddaughter. It takes a village to raise a child. Once again, I did not mean to upset you, and hope we can move past this. Wow. She had already discussed the whole topic, right? You know, of course she trusted you. She trusted you to look after her child. Yeah? You had your say over how you looked after her, not how you took flesh from her body. Oh my goodness. Wow. She had already discussed the matter with you regarding ear piercing. I was like, no, I don't want to cause my baby pain. Have some empathy, man. She took someone else's child somewhere cheap to do that as well. If you even had the audacity to do that behind someone's back, at least make it the most like VIP experienced, you know, with the most renowned professionals that you can find. You're just there and you're just like, let me just get this really cheaply done and covertly. She won't notice, or she'll be thankful even though she said, I would rather not, you know. Seriously, I mean, you had the wherewithal to ask about it and discuss it, but you didn't have the wherewithal to ask, you know, just before you do it. I don't understand. I don't understand. I'm just lost. I don't know. You're vicariously living through someone else. Maybe you didn't get to pierce your son's ears or something. Is that what it is? Wow, that is odd. Now there's going to be scarring and mate, infections. I don't know. I'm going. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching as usual. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. And yeah, I don't expect you to subscribe or like as well, because obviously it fills your notifications up, and having a lot of notifications and emails and deadlines isn't an anxiety reducing situation right now. So for those people that are doing it, thank you so much. It's crazy.